Welcome to episode 6 of the Creative Block, a podcast meant for the creatively curious, where I, Danielle Como, share my creative advice. How many times can we say creative? So it's one experience and advice from one creative to another creative, so that way we can all stay creative and break our creative blocks. Yes, so that's what we're doing. And I know my hair is doing a crazy thing right now. I just got done working out, so I'm going to be snacking on grapes and nuts and cheese while I'm going over this, so sorry if that's distracting. I tried to pick snack foods that were like really small that I could still talk through and swallow whole. So in today's podcast, we're going to really focus on the daunting task of starting something new, the intimidation factor of creating something, the point in the creative process where you're like, I have a blank canvas and I have absolutely no clue what I need to know, what I'm gonna do. There are so many opportunities, there are so many choices that can go into it. There are so many things you could do with a blank canvas, and if you don't have a prompt or a purpose, or if you're just kind of feeling like you want to get artsy and do fun things, and you really have no direction to go, it can be really intimidating whenever you start something new. Whether it's a drawing, a painting, a song, a film, if you want to just make some sort of movie or something and you have no clue what you want to do, you just want to get behind a camera and start rolling. It can be very, very, very intimidating to do that. But I'm going to share my 3 pieces of advice for starting something new and getting over that intimidation factor, if that's where you feel like you're at. If you have that creative wall up right now and you're just looking at something and you have no clue what you want to do, I'm going to kind of talk on how to fix that. Or not really fix that, just overcome it. What I do is I pick a style, or I roll the dice, or I draw a song. And what I mean by those 3 things is by picking a style. I've touched on this in past podcasts because I truly believe it, that every style has its own personality and its own rules that you kind of have to bend to in order for it to be considered that style. And I know it's the same a lot in like with tattoo art or with dance. Every style has like its own foundational blocks, its own basics, like its own alphabet. If a style is a language, every style has its own like 3 or 4 pillars that it's based upon, that like if you don't do those things, then it's not considered that style. Book style, you have what else do you got? You got realistic, you have kind of the cartoony style, you got anime or manga, as the drawn physical form is. But you have like all those different styles, and each one has like its own thing, its own that it is. You know, like if you look at comic book style, you're thinking heavy line work. For shading, it's not going to be gradual. It's going to be blocky shading. That still looks amazing. You also see a whole lot of hatching, which is where you pretty much take, like for shading, you have a whole bunch of like black lines that actually, I have some examples. Let's go with Civil War Iron Man. So this is like a really basic form of hatching. On his arm, how you have like a really thick black and then you have like the lines coming out of it to like kind of show that gradual shading. That is hatching. I don't have enough comics. Anyway, so that's what I mean by picking a style. I think that it's a great way to challenge yourself. I also think it's a great way to get out of your own comfort zone. I know that a lot of us, I say a lot of us, I know me personally, I have like my own way that I draw, and trying to do a different style, it causes me to look for other artists and discover other artists and kind of tap into the artistic community that is Instagram and ArtStation. ArtStation is a great place if you want to just look at concept art. Oh, and they also have concept art and 3D modeling. That's a great place to go to if you ever want inspiration for that, or if you just want to have a look-see. So I would say picking a style is great. The second piece of advice I have is if you don't want to pick a style, if that's not really your thing, then you can roll the dice, which that's what I do whenever I'm doing like my digital drawing sessions. Each time I've done one on this Twitch channel, except the one I recently did, I'm going to stick to that because I'm really excited to do it. But whenever you roll the dice, what I mean is you create 3 to 5 categories, and then within that, you, like within each category, you list 1 to 4 things, or however many sides of a dice that there are that you're using. For me, I use the tri-die for D&D. That's the one that looks like a pyramid. I don't know if that's what it's actually called. That's just what I call it. I've heard other people call it, so I call it the tri-die. But it only has 4 numbers on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously. And so what I'll do is I'll make 3 categories. I'll do race, class, and some other random one. Like I've done weapon, I've done emotion, I've done past. So like the most recent one I got was a celestial death knight. That was sad. So I had to figure out how to do that. And the one of the viewers on that helped out and forced in like thinking of which direction to go. So shout out to Hunky Monkey. And the way to portray that was sad is that it had a teddy bear wrapped around its waist, and I thought that was pretty cool. So shout out to that user. And that's kind of where the digital painting took off, or the digital drawing, and it's coming out pretty good. If you guys want to see the rest of it, you can tomorrow. I'll be on. But that's one other way that you can kind of break that creative block if you're having that issue, and if you're staring at a blank canvas and you have no idea what to do, roll the dice. Make your own adventure, leave it up to chance, live life on the edge, that sort of stuff. Be super, super impressed with what you can come up with whenever you're giving a crazy prompt like that. The third piece of advice I have, if you are struggling to make something, like if you just look at the canvas and you're like, what is this? What am I going to make? The third piece of advice I have is to draw a song. That may sound weird, but I know I'll be listening to a song, and I categorize a lot of things with colors. I'm very, very visual. It's insane for me. Like songs and genres I categorize as colors. I have different colors for the months. I have different colors for emotions and everything, my own personal palette and everything like that. So for me, if it's a category or something, it probably has a color association for me. So this may be a very super ultra personalized tip, but what I'll do is I'll draw a song. So I'll listen to, say, Chill Step, okay, and I'll just go to my playlist, my Chill Step playlist, and hit shuffle, play, and whatever song comes on, I'll draw that and draw what I'm feeling. And usually that's very, very spacey vibes. One of my characters that was drawn to Chill Step were these people. So, or this demon, spiritual, celestial thing, and this kid. I was listening to Chill Step whenever I did that. Totally inspired by the music. Another one, this one, I drew and thought of whenever I was listening to In This Moment, which is a hard rock metal band. I don't know, considering the other stuff I listen to, I consider In This Moment kind of like a soft metal, but fight me, I don't care. Whoa! Yay! Jack the Skeleton. skeleton has fallen from the shelf. So those are my 3 tips. Draw a song, roll the dice, pick a style. If you are having any issues with coming up with something creative, then I suggest doing one of those 2 things. If they don't work for you, then leave a comment or shoot me a message. Say, hey, you lied to me. That didn't work. If you have other ways that you overcome that intimidation or like get into your artistic groove when you're not feeling it, let me know that too, because I really want to know what you guys do. Like every artist, I'm not in my creative groove 100% of the time. There are plenty of days where I want to create, but I just can't because I can't think of anything. And these 3 tips have really, really helped me. So I hope that they help you. And that's it for this week's creative block. Be sure to catch us on any of our live streams. We have digital drawing with me, and then Seth does game streaming. We're still getting down the schedule and when we're gonna do that, so it'll be really fluctuating. So just hit like your notification on for whenever we go live, and you'll get notified. Other than that, you all have a fantastic day, and be sure to stay creative. Bye!